Hey guys, welcome back to The Zielinski Life. I'm Cody, this is Val, and for the past several years here on YouTube, we have been sharing our journey towards debt freedom and working towards financial independence.
Working towards.
Yeah, yes. We're working on getting started there. And we've recently begun trying to share some of our lessons learned along the way. So today what we wanted to talk about is why your credit card is not an emergency fund.
Right, so this video actually stems from a blog post that Cody's done, and I'll link it down below, but also a conversation we had with somebody recently, and they had talked about how nobody they know pays off their credit card in full. And it just really got Cody and I talking about how people will frequently use their credit cards as emergency funds, or with the mindset of, I don't have the money for this item right now, so I'll just put it on the credit card and pay it back later. Or I really need to buy food this week, but I don't have money, so I'll buy it on the credit card and pay it back next payday. And this is how people get into trouble with credit card debt.
Yeah. Now, to be clear, unless your credit card is maxed out, we're not saying don't use your credit card, because most of us live less. Society is built on doing things with the credit card. You basically can't live a modern life without some form of credit card, even if it's just for booking the odd hotel here and there. So definitely we're not saying don't use the credit card, but don't think of your credit card as your emergency fund. If you're closing out each month with a balance that is not zero, you're probably misusing your credit card, and you're very likely going to get yourself into trouble very quickly.
Yeah. We always tell people don't spend money you don't have. And that seems counterintuitive to what most of us have been taught about credit cards, because the whole point of a credit card is that it's credit.
Yeah, that's the point of it. But it's not free money.
That's right.
Right? It's not like you sign up for a credit card and they're just like, cool, here's $5,000. You may have a $5,000 credit limit, but you have to pay that back.
With interest.
And yeah, there's a huge interest tacked on. If you happen to go over your $5,000, say you're right at $49.99, and then you get hit with interest and you wind up over that $5,000 limit, then you're getting hit with fees as well.
That's right.
And those fees can be quite astronomical.
So how do you avoid using a credit card as an emergency fund? One,
it's a mental trick, mostly. Just a lot of people subconsciously think that I'll just fall back on my credit card if I need to. But chances are, if you're in a situation where you would need to fall back on your emergency fund, or in this case your credit card, it's because it is for an amount of money that you don't have just on hand waiting to be used. So if you put that on your credit card, it's for sure money you can't pay back, and then you start accruing interest. And if it happens more than once, you very quickly find yourself in a downward spiral where you're maxed out, there's no more room on your credit card, and you're still making astronomical payments.
Yeah, so first things first is you want to try and build an emergency fund, and you would be using that first. And even before then, don't spend money that you don't have.
Yeah, use your credit card for groceries, use your credit card for gas, use your credit card for whatever you're going to use it for. But if you've only got $100 budgeted for groceries for that week, only buy $100 worth of groceries. Don't go up to the till and be like, oh, it came to 105, so whatever, I'll just buy it. Only spend the amount of money that you can immediately replace.
And in the moment, it might not seem a big deal. That was our mentality years ago.
It's only $5, whatever.
Yeah, we're it's only $5, no big deal. We'll pay it off next payday, or we'll just, it'll be fine. But the problem is then if something happens and you lose your job, or another emergency comes up and money has to be reallocated to that money then that you've spent that you didn't have on that credit card doesn't get paid off, and then it starts to accrue interest. And that is such an easy mindset.
It's such a slippery slope
to keep going through. So Cody and I pay off our credit card every single month in full. Yeah. Now, if you've already racked up your credit card...
Yeah, we're not saying, we don't expect everyone to just be sitting on $5,000 to pay off their $5,000 credit card. Yeah. It may take some time to get that balance back to a true zero.
Because keep in mind, we've been there many times before.
Yeah. But if you do have a lot of credit card debt racked up, every single month, month after month, you should be closing out that month with less debt than you started that month with.
That's right.
Even if it's only by a couple dollars, you need to slowly chip away at that.
Yeah.
And by slowly chipping away at that, you will eventually reduce the principal enough that even though you're not reducing the amount of money you're paying towards it, more of the money is going towards principal and less is going towards interest because the principal is slowly shrinking.
That's right.
Now, obviously, you want to do that as quickly as possible because credit card interest rates will kill you. And that's not even a joke.
Yeah, I've definitely spent thousands of dollars paying down a credit card that I owed like $800 on.
Yeah, the very first credit card I ever maxed out, because at the time I didn't know anything about emergency funds or budgeting or anything like that. I just kind of figured that I could go to work and then do whatever I wanted with my money and everything would be fine, because like I was very young at the time. But I racked up a $1,000 credit card. I had zero room on a credit card with a $1,000 limit, because I was using it for groceries. I was using it to kind of float me when I had no money between jobs. And I ended up owing $1,000 and then slowly having to pay that back. And by the time I paid that back, I'd spent probably $5,000 or $6,000 that I didn't need to. Like it seems in the moment like it's a $1,000 limit, so it should take me $1,000 to pay it back. But no.
But if you can only afford the minimum payments, it will take you years.
Yeah,
to pay it back.
And not only that, if you accrue interest on it, sure, it's $1,000, but by the time interest kicks in, it works out to be what, like $1,200?
I can't remember. It depends on your interest rate.
Yeah.
But yeah, you pay hundreds of dollars a year then on that balance.
Yeah.
So, anyways, it was a pretty short video, but we do think it's important to have that discussion. It's not something we're really taught as young adults, especially coming right out of high school and college.
Mostly what they're told is that, a credit card is a great way to build your credit. But
get a credit card. You need a credit card.
Yeah, if you don't know how to use it, if you don't even know what it means to use it responsibly, you can get yourself into trouble with it so quickly.
Like we did.
Again,
we're not speaking on like a high horse here.
Yes, we are
we have
definitely not up on our high horse.
Yeah. We've been down in that ditch more times than we care to admit.
Yeah, and this time, hopefully, never again. Short and sweet today, we just wanted a cautionary tale of why your credit card should not be considered an emergency fund, and tidbits on how to use it properly so that you don't get yourself into trouble with it, because once again, it is a slippery slope and it only takes the tiniest stumble to set you down a very bad path with it. One that you will regret potentially for the rest of your life.
Yes.
Depending on what situation you're in.
And this is one of the things that we're going to cover in an upcoming course that we're going to be launching around financial basics.
Yeah, we'll go a little more in depth to it, explain things a little better.
In the meantime, as we're putting it together, if you guys have questions, concerns, other things that you'd want to add to this topic, let us know in the comments down below.
Yeah, that's a good point. If there's anything that you want us to cover specific to this, let us know and we'll find the information we need to and get it all digested for you guys.
Yes.
So, anything else, darling?
That's it.
All right, that's it. That's all. So thanks for sticking with us. If you found value in the video or you at least enjoyed it, leave a like. If you don't like it, make sure you hit that dislike button, but do it twice.
So we really know that you disliked it.
Yeah, just so we're really aware of how unhappy you are. Hitting that button the second time is what really gets the point across.
Yeah.
But in the meantime, we love you guys very much. Thanks for tagging along with us. Subscribe if you haven't already so you can tag on again. Make sure notifications are turned on for when we do the next video. Make sure that little bell is rung. If you have an actual bell, hit it. And that's it. We'll see you guys in the next one. We love you very much. And is it payday yet?
Bye.
Bye.